I love me some World Cup. I've been watching the matches. I watch them on my phone. I watch them on my TV anytime they're on. Yes, it's not high scoring, but man, there's high drama. All these different countries, the passion that the fans have, thousands of people from, you name it, any country that is in the World Cup, filling up the stadiums for the most part. I know that some stadiums aren't as full as others, but man, the games that I see on TV, the matches I see on TV, they are there and they are dialed in and they are supporting their country. And to see it play out in the U.S. 32 years after the last time we hosted the World Cup, it's just bigger now. It feels like a much more significant deal than it was in 1994. And it shows the NFL what football could be at some point way down the line. This is decades, if not centuries down the line. Envision an international American football tournament played every 4 years where 32, 48, however many countries have 11 on 11 tackle football teams that come together and have this kind of a tournament. And, they play once a week. Works well. I don't know how accelerated the matches are when we get into the knockout round, but the American team played Friday, then they play on Thursday. That's the NFL schedule. So there's a way to do it. But before there's ever the occasion to figure out the logistics, the sport's got to grow to the point where a tournament like that, number one, enough countries are playing at a high enough level to justify it, and enough fans in those countries are as zealous about American football as they are about soccer. It's something, as you watch the World Cup, that should both inspire and deflate the NFL. Because look at what this global experiment could eventually be. That's great, but there's a long way to go. And it's going to take a long time to get there. It's going to take decades. It's going to take generations. Maybe it happens with flag football instead of tackle. Maybe it happens with flag football and tackle. Maybe it goes every 4 years, there's a international flag football tournament. Every 4 years, there's an international tackle football tournament, and it's staggered like the Olympics, where you have one every 2 years. Flag one time around, 2 years later, tackle, 2 years later, flag. Again, this is long-term. This is what the NFL would love to be. This is why the NFL is doing what it's doing. It's 20 years into this experiment of globalizing the sport. And who knows where the ceiling is. But I remember vividly in the 70s when I first got the NFL virus, thanks to the Immaculate Reception, NFL Films, Howard Cosell's halftime highlights. I got hooked. I became a fan of the sport. I became someone who wanted to see the sport do better. I wanted to see it thrive. I wanted it to catch baseball. I was a big baseball fan back then, but I wanted football to catch baseball. And there would have been a time, let's say 50s or 60s, if you'd have gone to the average American sports fan and said, you know what, one of these days, football is going to overshadow baseball in this country, they would have laughed at you. So I think of that when I consider the possibility of football at some point closing the gap with soccer. And it's laughable to think about that now, but it was laughable to think about it 50, 60, 70 years ago as it relates to football and baseball. So this is a very long-term thing. The World Cup is showing us what American football could be if it ever maxes out on a global stage. But if nothing else, it should help everyone understand why they're doing it, whether you like it or whether you don't. There's a lot of reasons to not be thrilled about, the 49ers and the Rams having to go to Australia to play their opening game. We know Kyle Shanahan's not happy about that. They eventually want to get to the point where every team has the burden of playing internationally every year, so it smooths out that competitive imbalance. But this is all part of a long-term play, which really doesn't benefit today's owners the way that it will benefit tomorrow's owners and maybe multiple generations out of owners. before this thing fully flourishes. But that's why they're doing it, and that's where they hope it's going. And I won't live long enough to see it get there, and you probably won't live long enough to see it get there. This is something that is going to take a very, very long time. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.